You're a Black woman, you're young, you look younger, people really think you have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Black woman, you are so beautiful and strong. Even on the days where life's woes try to beat you down and make you feel otherwise, you're still unmatched.
So it's really difficult to think about ways to actively provide resources for underrepresented groups in higher ed, just because once you get into higher ed, you realize there's a lot of red tape, and you also realize there's a lot of things that existed long before you got there that stop underrepresented groups from even knowing that there are resources that they're missing out on. So what I at least try to do is make sure that I word of mouth. I think word of mouth in communities of color is prominent and a great way for resources to get spread around. So I don't just sit on resources even if they're ones that I can't necessarily benefit from. If I know of somebody that can benefit from something that's going on, or it's a fellowship, a grant, try to make sure that I get that information into the right hands. One thing at the last school that I attended, I noticed that there were things that were just institutional based that a lot of underrepresented groups didn't know about. Hearing that, you know, they're only sharing that information with certain students, I realized that students didn't realize that the institution itself had resources that they could take advantage of that would allow them to get access to internships, get access to individuals that work in the fields that they want to work in. So a lot of the time I think in higher ed, institutional-based resources are ones that are not made available to all. Being a Black woman with a PhD in sports medicine leaves me open to a lot of nonsense, because just being a woman and being around sports, people automatically think you have no idea what you're talking about. Sports medicine, it's a healthcare profession, and it's not something that is traditionally seen as a woman's role in healthcare. So a lot of the things that I run into is just people downplaying my credentials or downplaying the ambition that I have, the passion that I have for the field. People will downplay that. They're not even being subtle about it, it's just right in your face. Those kind of things are ones that I have to ignore because I know what it is that I want to do, why it is that I got into the field in the first place. So I don't have time for their nonsense, and if I can skirt around them, then I do. And when I think about my Blackness, my womanhood, and my queerness is something that I think about now because I think I can't hide the fact that I'm Black, so I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm queer. It's not something that, you know, I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not going around wearing a rainbow blazer or anything, but if it comes up in conversation or I notice that someone is saying something that is very anti-LGBTQ, I have no problem speaking up in those instances. But I think my whole life I've been in situations where I've been the only Black person, only Black girl, only Black woman, growing up on Long Island, growing up in a Black and brown community, but a lot of Long Island is very white. Over time, I've just learned that being a Black woman has a lot of strength just in owning what that identity means for me, and then again being able to attach things like my queerness to that as well, and just knowing that no, these are my strengths, these are like very prominent parts of my identity, and there's no reason for me to act like they haven't helped to get me to where I am.